Hello, everyone, and welcome to Exceptionally Calm. My name is Jacqueline Silvers, and for more than 20 years, I have worked in special education as a teacher, educational leader, and advocate for children with exceptional learning needs and their families. Throughout my career, I have had the privilege of supporting students with intellectual disabilities, autism, developmental delays, and a wide range of learning challenges. One thing I've learned is that every child has a story. Too often, we focus on what we see on the surface and miss the challenges, strengths, and potential that lie underneath. Today, I'd like to share the story of a student. We'll call him Ethan. At first glance, Ethan appeared to be a calm and easygoing 12-year-old. Most people who met him would have described him as quiet, pleasant, and well-mannered. To a casual observer, he looked like any other preteen navigating middle school. What most people didn't see was the tremendous effort Ethan invested every day simply to keep up with the world around him. Ethan had an intellectual disability that significantly affected his academic performance, memory, and social understanding. While his classmates were advancing through grade-level curriculum, Ethan was working several years below his peers and required intensive support to access instruction successfully. Reading was one of Ethan's greatest challenges. He often struggled to retain information from one day to the next. Skills he appeared to master during one lesson might need to be retaught the following morning. This wasn't because Ethan wasn't trying. In fact, he worked harder than many people realized. For students like Ethan, learning often requires repeated opportunities for practice, review, and reinforcement. Progress may come more slowly, but that does not mean progress cannot occur. Ethan also depended heavily on routines and predictable schedules. He found comfort in knowing what would happen next, and often repeated questions throughout the day. While some people viewed this as unnecessary repetition, those who understood Ethan recognized that those questions provided reassurance and helped him feel secure. As educators and parents, it is important that we look beyond the words being spoken and consider the need behind them. Often children are simply seeking information. They are seeking confidence, predictability, and support. Social situations presented additional challenges for Ethan. He frequently misunderstood the actions and intentions of others. Situations that appeared straightforward to adults could become confusing and frustrating from his perspective. When misunderstandings occurred, Ethan often reacted based on what he genuinely believed had happened. This is a challenge many students with intellectual and developmental disabilities face. They may struggle to interpret social cues, understand other people's perspective, or accurately assess the intent behind someone's actions. As a result, Conflicts arise even when no harm was intended. One of the most important lessons I've learned throughout my career is that behavior is communication. Every action tells us something about a child's experience, whether it reflects confusion, anxiety, frustration, fear, or a need for support. When we focus only on correcting behavior, we risk missing the message behind it. When we take the time to understand the message, we create opportunities for growth, learning, and connection. For Ethan, success was not always measured by grades or test scores. Sometimes success meant just asking for help rather than becoming frustrated. Sometimes it meant working through a misunderstanding calmly. Sometimes it meant demonstrating a skill independently that had been required in need of support just weeks earlier. Those moments mattered. Ethan's story reminds us that disabilities are not always visible. A student who appears calm may be working through significant challenges. A student who repeats questions may be seeking reassurance. A student who struggles academically may be exerting extraordinary effort simply to keep moving forward. As parents, educators, and caregivers, our responsibility is not to compare children to one another. Our responsibility is to recognize growth, celebrate the progress, and provide the support each child needs to reach their potential. When we replace assumptions with understanding and judgment with curiosity, we create environments where exceptional children can thrive. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Exceptionally Calm. I hope Ethan's story provides you with insight, encouragement, and a deeper appreciation for the unique journeys many exceptional children experience every day. Until next time, remember that every child has a story worth understanding.